It's Friday the 13th. I'm getting a tattoo. The hardest part about this is not talking.
It's nice that Dave's tattooed, you know, it's nice that I can relate to him. It's not as intimidating, I suppose.
The emergency visit was like about $2,000.
Yeah, they ran a bunch of tests and I guess it's $2,000. I don't know, I'm just kind of ignoring the bill.
So I could decide whether or not you need a hospital. If you do need tests that I can't do, like an echo or other technical things, you can get those outside of hospital. I was a Boy Scout for a while, Cub Scout or Boy Scout. When you went to a camp and you had a fire in a little tent, the premise was that when you left the next day or after the trip is to leave the place slightly better than it was when you got there. Slightly better than it was for you having been there. That would be my philosophy. I'm not always good at that, but these things are just goals, something you try.
Was my mom came visiting from South Africa and she had some problems. You saw her and you didn't charge her anything.
Really? What was I thinking?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Ow.
Wasn't much painful?
I had a big problem with addiction and I didn't know where to turn. I had no work, no insurance. I didn't know what to do.
The reason I don't think you're losing blood is that the size of your blood cells is pretty much okay.
And I remember my mother talking about Dr. Dave. So I came and knocked on his door and he helped me. And almost 3 years later now, Dr. Dave played a big role in it. If he hadn't have been there, I don't know what I would have done.
And it looks perfect. Okay. Dr. Dave?
Thanks, Dr. Dave.
Working as a doctor all day, my job is to listen to people talk and quickly solve their problem for them. You empathize somewhat, but what they really want is a solution. They want to know what's wrong with them. They want a diagnosis, they want to fix. That's how my brain really works all the time. Is an amino acid called tyrosine, which is mostly in meat.
Okay.
Now you don't eat meat.
Right.
Or fish or eggs.
Right.
And you must have this amino acid.
Okay.
So what's a vegetarian source for it? The answer is sunflower paste.
Okay.
Sunflower seeds, you have to eat 10,000 of them. It's really hard to, unless you're a pigeon, have all day to do that.
Yeah.
But they make it like a peanut butter made of sunflowers.
Okay, I've heard of this, yeah.
So that twice a week takes care of that. The Lower East Side and New York City provides thousands of things to do that's really fun. And a lot of my friends have restaurants and clubs and bars, so there's a never-ending list of, like, every night you have 10, 15 things to do. I see lots of patients who come from a hospital or something. I go, what happened? Oh, I had a stomach ache, I went to the hospital. And they have heartburn or whatever. I go, what'd they do? Oh, they did a chest x-ray, they did an enema, they did this and this, and they run up a bill. And
$15,000 later.
It was $4,000.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, you need to take Prilosec. And it was obvious. I mean, like when I can't work anymore, I think I'll just move to Cambodia and buy like 3 or 4 kilos of really good heroin and just stay vaguely high and live on the beach of Cambodia in a hut. And then they'll find me dead one day and they can just push me out to sea in one of those little Cambodian canoes. That will gradually sink like a Viking thing so then the sharks can eat me. Cambodian sharks. I hear Cambodia is really beautiful. That's my retirement plan.
I go to Dr. Dave. I love having a doctor in the neighborhood. I do, I love it a lot. I tell lots of people about my neighborhood doctor. I tell them go see Dr. Dave. And I say it's easy to see the sign, Cross Houston.
I like to make art if I can. I made my motorcycles decoupaged, covered in kind of pinup girls. That was fun. I made paintings for a while. That was fun. I like to do photography. Under my office is a studio space. I'm going to start some art there, hopefully in the fall. The couple of things that I'd like to discuss or think I should discuss is like self-improvement is one, things I could do better at, and then things I'm having trouble with. That's kind of how I divided it in my head. When I first wake up, I feel very dark and depressed, but it clears.
How long have you been feeling that way for?
It could be once every 3 months, or it happens occasionally. Very dark, negative thinking.
Like what kind of thoughts?
Violent thoughts, very violent thoughts. Killing people I know, killing people I don't know. Driving a car into a wall, hurting myself. But it's kind of fantastical. My political position is connected to my view of evolution and how humans got to be here over millions of years, which sounds odd, I know, but the humans that are nasty and aggressive and expansionistic and overpopulate and et cetera, are the ones that survive, just like the sharks and the other animals. So that's what you got now. These humans that are here now are not the nicest ones. As far as, climate change and food, worldwide famine and loss of resources, chopping down the rainforest, there'll be no more fish in 5 years, can be all put on the fact that there's too many people. We don't have a food shortage, we have a people excess. And no one really wants to say that out loud. So I guess it's a political position or a cultural position. If we had only 1 billion humans on the planet, we stayed at 1 billion, there would forever be enough fish and wood and food for everybody. But you can't overpopulate endlessly and expect things to work out great. There's just too many people at the party. So I guess it's a political position. And I'm really satisfied. I'm okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to die, as one of my tattoos says. Not in a depressive, sad way. I've done a lot of really great fun things and met lots of fun people, had a lot of fun times. So I'm really satiated or satisfied with what I've done. I look forward to 50 more years of the same. But I also think life is like a gas tank with duct tape over it. You know it holds, 20 gallons in your tank, but you don't know how many gallons you have. It's like the hardest I've ever seen it rain in a long time.